Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Davo from Archon Esports, bringing you another 1v1 Starcraft 2 cast today. This time, in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our blue Zerg, who is MilkZikto, also known as Ziktomini, also known as the Starcraft 2 UK champion as of the 1st of July 2012. Awesome. This game is back from May time, but I thought that I'd cast it anyway, seeing as it does have Mr. Ziktomini in it. In the top left-hand corner, we have REALIllusion, who is actually not part of Real anymore. He's now part of Quantic. I believe the two teams merged. And this is actually around the time that the teams merged as well. So it's just before the teams merged this game was played, I believe. So there you go. Awesome. So Ziktomini, what is he? Who is he? He won, if you weren't there, he won the ESL UK Nationals in a final versus the Muslim, and to get there he had to jump through several hoops and beat several people such as Johnny Rico as well, and Johnny Rico is also a very, very good Zerg indeed. Him and Ziktomini are actually very much up and coming. He says that he might be at the I-Series Festival, which we also might be at, so we could cover him more there as well. But he's a pretty interesting character. There's an interview with him on our YouTube channel, so look out for that and go and have a watch. And also we have an interview of Tastosis up at the moment as well, so that might be worth a look in also. Ziktomini going hatch before pool currently, so that is a nice economic opener, but not terribly safe, but that's okay because he sees that REALIllusion is actually playing defensively anyway, and he has, in fact, he's binded all of his command center to 0. So he's just literally gone, giving it one of those, and if I do that, the screen freaks out, just like that. Awesome. So there we are. It does look like we're going to have a tech lab going down as well, because it is building. There we go. And this says to me that perhaps we're just going to see quite a lot of Marauders coming out, really. But we are going to have a Reaper instead. It's bizarre, actually. Quite a lot of Terran players either prefer to go Hellions versus Zerg. In fact, again, in the ESL UK National, the Muslim went a build with 3 factories against Ziktomini, I believe. Oh wait, no, it might have been against Johnny Rico. Yeah, where he just basically got three factories with reactors constantly producing Hellions, and it actually did some damage. As Tastosis said on the day, like, they've never seen Hellions kill a hatchery before. Well, they have now. So there you are. And we also have a rather fast expand from Illusion coming down at the moment as well. I mean, Ziktomini is very, very good. Apparently he was at a NLG and he managed to take games away from several good players such as Thorzane as well. But you know, I'm just interested in this guy's play because, to be honest, there was a large amount of confusion at the ESL because quite a lot of people just, quite frankly, didn't know who this guy was or is, and yet he played very, very well indeed, and he was a very enjoyable watch. Let's put it like that. And he has the most epic beard, so there you are. This Reaper trying to be as annoying as possible while trying to not get sniped by the Queen right here. But one thing that might be hard for him to do is not get sniped for the Queen, because there is another one coming from the back right here. But it does look like he's going to succeed in killing 4 units, and I think they're all Zerglings. Maybe 1 drone? Have we got any drones lost? Yes, one worker killed right there for Ziktomini. Unfortunately for him, that worker has been killed, and the Reaper just retreating back to the watchtower, seeing what he can see. Of course, they are far too lazy to use their legs. They will just fly everywhere, just hover around. Nice. Meanwhile, we do have a Roach Warren coming down for Zikto right now, and that is something that, well, quite frankly, is very, very good against Reapers, and most Terran units in general, actually. Marines suffer against Roaches, and the tech tree, they are listed as a direct counter to Marines, which I wouldn't say is strictly true. Marines are still very, very good. But But of course Marauders do fare slightly better against them. And here we have Hellions coming in, but these Hellions aren't going to be able to get through into the base because there are just 2 queens sitting in the way. And as much micro as he wants to do, this Reaper is not going to be able to get into the base that way either because it doesn't conjoin. He'll have to kind of jump the gap, and obviously he probably won't be able to. Meanwhile, this queen, kind of a little bit more than half health, but she'll survive. I'm very, very sure of that indeed. The Reaper killing a creep tumor straight away, which is entirely fair enough. And the Hellions are just kind of tempting fate, seeing what they can do at the moment. Meanwhile, we do have the metabolic boost coming out, and it does actually look like Illusion will probably be doing a kind of a mech-ish play. He is getting his siege tanks out right now, and we also have another command center on the way as well. Meanwhile, engineering base going down, and that obviously 2 kind of says double upgrades, so there we go. That is something that we can probably expect. He is setting up his siege tanks, and to be honest, siege tanks are probably the best thing in this situation, as Ziktomini does have a baneling nest and a roach warren, and well, siege tanks are very, very good against banelings and roaches. So in fact, siege tanks are just good against everything that doesn't fly, let's be honest. Siege tanks are very, very good units. Yeah, not bad at all. They really, really can rain the pain, as it were. I like Illusion's blocking, it's very symmetrical. Maths teachers everywhere would like this and be proud. Meanwhile, we do have 1 weapons and 1 armor on the way for Ziktomini. I struggle with the name a little bit. For Ziktomini on the way, and of course that will help him greatly in the struggle, as our Terran opponent has only just started his 1 weapons and 1 armor as well. But then again, so has Zikto, apparently. Time flies when you're talking about weapon and armor upgrades. Oh yeah, tomorrow we'll be doing dual casting, me and Phonics. I'm Davo, I'm the guy who was holding the camera at the ESL. So yeah, there you go. That's basically the story. These Zerglings are going to make a pretty cruel fate. Unfortunately for them, they'll turn into a Zergbacue right there, and just end up completely dying and being on the floor, rolling around in agony. Meanwhile, we have my favourite upgrade in the game, centrifugal hooks, on the way, simply because of the way it sounds. Centrifugal hooks. What a name. What a name. So we are 10 minutes into the game right now. Ziktomini looking fairly dangerous, and REALiLlusion looking pretty damn defensive right now. He is going to be moving out and securing this 3rd base for himself as well. The command center has already finished, morphed into an orbital command. It is ready to go. Meanwhile, we do have a spire on the way for Ziktomini right now. And to be honest, I'm not actually sure that Illusion has scouted this spire at all or anything like that, because I mean the spire is about to finish, so let's have a look. No, I mean, let's face it, Illusion hasn't actually done that much scouting at all. I mean, even just dropping a scan in the main would see that there's a baneling nest there and a spire on the way, so that could have been a worthwhile venture for him to do. There is that scan, in fact, so let's just go to his view real quick, and now he does actually see these threats. Straight away he started building missile turrets. Actually, before the scan he started building missile turrets, but I'm guessing, yeah, he's putting down more missile turrets right now because he knows what is probably on the way, and that is Mutalisks, the bastards of the sky, those fast maneuverable things that can just tear up anything in their path. They are very, very dangerous with their glaive worm attack, and it bounces. Unbelievable unit. Really, really good. Or at least one of my most hated units when I play, because I are newbie. I get mashed against Mutalisks, or at least people that use Mutalisks well. Or at least better than the Platinum Standard, I get mashed. So there you go. Meanwhile, we have this Reaper still being a cheeky bugger, probably actually just trying to do some scouting right now, sitting down here at the bottom of this ramp, or just to the side of it even, kind of contemplating what to do, and unfortunately he gets taken out by these Zerglings, who just run in there and completely kill him off very, very quickly indeed. They probably saw him coming onto the creep, and that is why he met his unfortunate end. Meanwhile, we do have Ziktomini looking like he is going to be wanting to take a 4th expansion up here, which is a pretty good place to take a 4th expansion actually, because it's nicely defended by these destructible rocks, because obviously this ramp points in the direction of Ziktomini's base almost directly, and you know, as long as those rocks are still there, it's a fairly difficult expansion to attack, as it were. So there we go. We do have these Mutalisks, and they do look like they're going to be going across the map and causing all sorts of trouble. Oh, but they do want to avoid that Thor, because Thor's they obviously have the splash damage attack and can take out lots and lots of mutas simultaneously and just be extremely damaging all around. Meanwhile, 2 weapons and 2 armor is on the way for both players right now. We also have +1 flying weapons as well, and a hive on the way for Ziktomini, so it doesn't look like he could be transitioning into things such as Broodlords. Those Marines in that bunker are having a whale of a time right now, so the Mutalisks are just going to have to pull back and see what they can do from here. Meanwhile, Illusion has 10 Marines on the way, so he is actually going a very, very bio-orientated play. I was completely wrong earlier when I said he was going mech. That was a lie. I mean, he's just going a nice kind of blend, I guess. He has got Thors and siege tanks, but that's kind of what you might want to expect anyway against a fairly good Terran player who is facing a Zerg. There we go, another scan going down there from REALIllusion right now. One thing about Ziktomini's style of play is his creep spread is just phenomenal, and I believe this is before the Queen buff as well, so the Queens do not have the 5+ range at the moment, so they're not used as often for creep spread. And there we go, creep tumors getting killed off just in the middle of the map from the scans as well. Meanwhile, Ziktomini's army, there is quite a lot of banelings right here, and he will want to catch these before the siege tanks set up, but the siege tanks are already set up, so it does look like a baneling charge right now might be a little bit suicidal, but here he comes anyway. And it does look like, wow, it does look like Illusion has been completely overrun with a really, really nice flank indeed. Oh, and more banelings coming up here from the north. So there we go. REALIllusion's army getting absolutely crushed by Ziktomini right there. I mean, he did send loads of Zerglings round the top right here and round the bottom as well. I didn't actually see that he split his army up like that. It was a tremendous flank. Very well played indeed. And the ramp, oh, the ramp stays down, but there are quite a lot of Marines there ready to do their thing if needs be. But at the moment, Ziktomini has the more successful attack on his hands. He has indeed done the more successful attack anyway. And there we go. Is he going to try and get this before it turns into an orbital command? That is the question. The siege tanks are raining the pain on the banelings right now, but there are just so many banelings on the field that, I mean, this Terran army is just getting quite simply overwhelmed by them. More siege tanks on the high ground right here, and they are going to just be blasting away at the Zerg army, and the Zerg army quite cleverly pulls away. Don't want to lose as much as they could be losing right now. And here we go, we do have missile turrets, obviously the planetary fortress, missile turrets around the back as well, making this into a nice little citadel via Illusion is. So it's just something that can't be killed off as easily. Meanwhile, Ziktomini actually is down in supply to REALIllusion right now, but that is because he has just started production of 7 Ultralisks. There you go. Simple enough, eh? Unfortunately, missile turrets only attack 1 air unit at a time. They don't do any splash damage. Well, unfortunately for REALIllusion anyway. But that is a lot of banelings more thing. That's 8, 16, 24. Wow, I can't count, but there you go. Lots and lots of banelings. I could just look up here. It's 36 banelings morphing. And they do, of course, have the centrifugal hooks upgrade and all of that dangerous stuff. 3+ weapons and 3+ armor on the way for our Terran player right now. And it does actually look like Ziktomini is just going to roll all of these banelings into the command center and just take it out. Completely. Just, you cannot mine here. Goodbye. Meanwhile, in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, or just the bottom of the map, we do actually have a fairly similar situation from REALIllusion, as he has just taken out an expansion, a hatchery from Ziktomini right there. Meanwhile, the ferocious Ultralisks are ready to go into battle. I do believe they have the chitinous plating just about to finish, but that's absolutely fine. These siege tanks do have a bonus against Ultralisks, but it does look like they will just get taken out anyway, as there are so many Ultralisks on the field. Meanwhile, this medvac full of guys is actually just going to go straight into Ziktomini's third base and just or main base even, and just drop and drop and drop and try and do as much damage as humanly possible. If he was to take out some of these overlords, that might be pretty damaging. He will scout the Great Spire that is on the way, and if he scouts that, that could mean all sorts of problems for Ziktomini. These Zerglings have just spawned, and they are actually just going to be running in to face the Marines right now. Meanwhile, it does actually look like perhaps, maybe it would have been a little bit ambitious for Illusion just to drop there. But it does look like the Mutalisks are just going to come and clear up this medvac, and all of the Marines and the medvac driver, as she is known, is going to get taken out straight away right now by this massive, massive Zerg swarm. Ziktomini and REALiLlusion at this point are completely capped. My throat really hurts as well. Just a little bit of a side note right there. We do have this command center rebuilding right now for REALiLlusion. And we do have it morphing back into a planetary fortress. The Mutalisks just being caught by the Thought as well, but Ziktomini's control in this game has been very, very good indeed. Oh, attacking without those Banelings quite there, but I guess they are for pudding, as it were. And here we go, we do have a rather large attack featuring many, many Ultralisks indeed, but I think that maybe this Terran army is going to be able to hold this, especially the Planetary Fortress that is now being healed. Oh, but more Banelings come in. As I said earlier, it is the pudding. And Ziktomini does actually look like he's going to have to pull back, but he is giving REALiLlusion, or Quantic Illusion, as I believe he now is, a run for his money, as it were. By the way, just a little more information about Illusion. He is of Korean background, but he lives in America. There you go. A little bit of information. Just a tipple. Transfusers going down on the Ultralisks just to make sure they're healthy and ready to fight another day, and use those retardedly massive claws of theirs to swipe and give big bear hugs to things that aren't quite expecting it, and completely murder them very, very quickly indeed. Meanwhile, these Marines here are just going to be shooting down these destructible rocks, as they are going to be wanting to transfer probes from this expansion, I guess. That is probably what is going on. Meanwhile, Ziktomini is producing nothing, but that's okay. There is no reason to produce anything when you are capped, but he is getting his pathogen glands research for infestors. I don't believe he has an infestor on the field. No, he does not have an infestor on the field just yet, but I'm sure if he is getting the pathogen glands research, that he will probably be getting that in the future, obviously infestors. So we might actually see Broodlords infestors, which is a pretty lethal combo, because most armies like to run away from Broodlords, but infestors stop armies from running away, obviously. Meanwhile, we do have a drop right here, and it does look like he's going to be going into this, I'm guessing, sixth base right here from Ziktomini, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do much damage. These Mutalisks, however, are just going to get taken out straight away, and are the Marines going to get loaded back into the medvac so they can get away and live to fight another day? It doesn't look like they are, and even if they were, this Mutalisk would surely take out the medvac anyway. So now the medvac is just, unfortunately for her, just going to be flying across the map, getting followed by this Mutalisk, and eventually will perish. So there we go. Meanwhile, up here we do have a really big engagement. More Banelings going straight into that planetary fortress, just taking it straight out again. And again, leaving Illusion without a base. I think one thing that Ziktomini is doing really, really well in this game is stopping Illusion from expanding so much, even though he is actually collecting more minerals than Ziktomini. I mean, both players are pretty much playing the same game. It's like a war of attrition going on right here. But here we go, we do have more Ultras just moving up here from the middle, and they do look like they're just going to be moving right in here and doing what they can against this Terran force that does look like perhaps it will be able to hold. Oh, wow. Big Baneling hit right there, because one big disadvantage Ziktomini has right now, sorry, Illusion has right now, is that he might not be able to see the Banelings in the middle of all of these Marines. 2 Ultralisks going down, but there are still 4 remaining. Can Illusion survive? This one on the far left has quite a lot of health, and it does actually look like Ziktomini is going to take all of these Terran ground units, Marines, Marauders, whatever, and just completely chomp away at them. I'm not actually sure that Ziktomini knows that this expansion is here. If so, he might have actually just re-rallied and gone for a little poke of it right there. Meanwhile, we do have lots and lots of Broodlords on the way, accompanied with the Zerg Flyer attacks level 3, which of course will damage them intensely, damage the enemy intensely even. Be very, very useful indeed. So we do have Ziktomini with the nice kind of combo of Ultralisks and Broodlords, and of course Broodlords are very, very dangerous indeed. There are also some Infestors on the field as well that stops units from running away whilst doing damage, also known as fungal growth, but I'm sure if you're watching this, many of you will know this already. The army coming down here to respond to a drop that is going on, and it does actually look like this hatchery is going to get taken down again for Ziktomini. Unfortunately for him, this command center up here constantly being harassed right now, and it does look like maybe the command center is just going to get taken out straight away. Perhaps, I mean, Zikto could have followed it with some of his corruptors, but no, he's just going to let it get away. That is fine, no problems there. A Marine eats it over there, some Zerglings feed it to him, as it were. If I'm going to use the words eats it, I have to follow it up with something, you know, rational. And here we go, lots and lots of Vikings on the field as well, and that is something that is going to be very, very useful to take care of this army composition. Both the Thors and the Vikings going to town right now, and if the Thors get some big hits on these Corruptors while they are just grouped up like this, it could be a disaster for Ziktomini's army, but I don't think it is at the moment because these Ultralisks are just chomping away at everything and are surely giving the Thor drivers something else to think about than using the anti-air cannons. Meanwhile, a massive fungal growth goes down on the Vikings, and it does actually look like the Vikings are going to go down as well, along with, quite frankly, most of the Terran army. This Ultralisk is in prime position, all of the Terran units are basically lined up for him, but unfortunately he dies before he gets to finish his lunch. And it doesn't look like these Broodlords are just going to be able to clean this up. Perhaps no more Marines joining the fray, and it does look like the Broodlords are going to perish pretty quickly. Meanwhile, 14 Ultralisks on the way for Ziktomini right now. He is not finished. He is not finished at all. Meanwhile, REALiLlusion's base, he isn't collecting any gas, but that's fine. He has 1700 gas. He doesn't need to really collect any more anyway. Medvac right here looked like she just tried to drop that, but it didn't quite pay off right there. Sorry, I missed that. The battle was going on. Oh my goodness, I feel terrible. Ugh. And there we go. So at this moment in time, Illusion looks in trouble, to me. I mean, he has 142 supply to a capped Zikto army. Zikto has his minerals very, very low indeed, but I don't think that is through lack of not having expansions, because he is building more and more expansions. They are getting taken down. Meanwhile, this army of siege tanks, marines and marauders will surely perish. The Medvac with the siege tank in there just died pretty damn quickly. Oh, but the Marauder the Thor got dropped there. It was a Thor. How did I see it all folded up like that? Wow, I'm terrible. These Marines valiantly trying to kill off this hatchery, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to, because it must be a terrible feeling being this Marine right now when all of these Zerg units are just going to come and mess you up just like that. So many Ultralisks on the field right now for Ziktomini, 14 Ultralisks. I don't think that Illusion has the economy to deal with this successfully. And oh, all of those SCVs will probably perish. And I know that Ziktomini will know that there is something up there right now that his Ultras can kill, and that is why he is sending them up there. Meanwhile, siege tanks blasting away at the Ultralisks right now, and of course they do have an advantage versus Ultralisks, and that will help them do quite a lot of damage. But will it be enough damage to take down this amount of Ultralisks as quickly as he would like to? That is the question. Meanwhile, there is a drop down here, killing off lots and lots of drones, but there isn't a hell of a lot of minerals left here. There's only little scraps left of where the mineral line used to be, about 130, 185 each. It's kind of the situation where if this hatchery died or got killed off, then you might not actually bother re-expanding there, because re-expanding there will cost more than actually, well, it will cost like 10 less than actually what the minerals that you're going to collect are. Wow, these SCVs want to stay away from here right now, because otherwise they are all going to die. They're going to receive a massive bear hug from the Ultralisks. But it does look like perhaps REALiLlusion is actually just going to all-in his opponent. He knows when the game is up. And here we go. That is just an overwhelming amount of Ultralisks, though. Not even an army with SCVs in can handle this. Oh, meanwhile, from the southerly flank, Zerglings are coming up as well to do as much damage as humanly possible. And this has to be GG from REALIllusion. REALIllusion? He was in Vile as well. Quantic Illusion. It has to be GG from here. It has to be. There is no way that Zikto could lose this. And there is actually just one G from Illusion right there. So that could stand for game, or good, or Jeffrey. Something like that. Who knows? There we go. I'm sorry about the quality of my casting. My throat is messing me up today. I don't know why. I really shouldn't probably be casting at all. But I did actually post it on Twitter yesterday, so I kind of promised it. But there's nothing more distracting than when it feels like your voice box is about to fall out. But go and check out our coverage of the ESL UK Nationals. It will be fine. Cheers guys, thanks a lot, and I will see you next time. Cheers.